Hey everybody, got my little orange juice. And okay, something occurred to me that maybe I should address because I'm like really popular, or at least facet of attention. So I'm gonna address how I became to be so well known and exhibited as some sort of knowledgeable person. It's because of the way I went about my training. Everyone's got to train. You practice, you learn, you repeat through repetition on your career paths, on your goals, on your skills and hobbies and talents, and whatever you do in your time, in your life. And the thing about me was why I never participated on the world stage when I was younger in my 20s is because the way I went about my training. You see, I always focused on like the neural networks in my brain through repeating them as many times as possible. For instance, say you want to shoot a basketball or kick a soccer ball. The ball will go where you want it to go if you use the proper technique. So the entire range of motion from your shoulders to your torso to your core to your neck and your head alignment to your hips to your rotation of gravity and your center of balance, right down to your knee, to your calves, to the contact point between your foot or your hand and your fingertips and the ball, and then your follow through and how much power you can generate through your muscles and through your rotation. And the only way you get excellent at it and a level to beat other people is if you have mastered that entire course of action, that technique. However, that's not in fact the way the game is played. Not at all. Anywhere. In performing music, performing arts, acting, business, science, working in a team, life and tasks are done from start to end. So when you play a sports game, performing in the entire game requires endurance, stamina, conditioning. It also requires teamwork, coordination between all the players on the team, both offense and defense, positional play, tactics, strategy. When you have the possession of the ball, your decision making, the way you read the game, your processing, your feel for the game, your experience. That is what the game is all about. It's not just about the technique of how good you can kick a ball. It's not just about the technique of how fast you can calculate something. It's not just about the technique of how well you've memorized something from a textbook. It's not just the technique of how well you can play a musical scale. But that's not the way I did things. I never performed music, complete set lists. I never did science as a job and worked on projects at a time or contracting at a time. Teamwork, design stage, meeting with clients, communicating. But I did study. I did poker and stocks. I never went about doing a full investment plan and managing a portfolio from year to year. I did, however, do technical analysis read 20 books and just focus on my entry and exits for each particular game. Because this was my thinking. If I get so good at the fundamentals, that's what it was, the fundamentals. That's all I am, fundamentals. If I get so good at these neural networks in my brain and these fundamentals, then I can one day have the ability to perform at that level, that professional standard on a world scale. That's where I did everything, whether it was gaming, whether it was science, school knowledge, playing poker, playing chess, playing guitar, playing piano, singing. I used to sing just not even random nonsense. I used to sing the same chorus over and over and over again. There's videos of me walking my dog singing the same song, same 2 verses over and over and over and over again, because that's all I could think of remembering the words, but I wanted to practice my vocal cords. So all I did was just build up these neural networks. And that's why throughout my entire 20s, through my entire teens, I was never able to perform. I never performed. Never. I managed a stock account of $2,000. Never grew it. Always growing it by $100 because I was just focusing on just tactics. I played poker 2,000, 3,000 hours at $1 tables where you bet pennies. 1 penny here, 2 penny here, 5 penny here, 10 pennies there. I did 3,000 hours of that. When you play at a live poker game, the minimum is $100 to $200. When you go to a casino, they won't let you play for less than $100. And these are people who are clueless. I had 3,000 hours. I read 20 poker books. I subscribed to dozens of poker classes. I trained. I sent emails. I had coaches. I reviewed video. I sent in my hand reviews and got feedback. And I learned this way. Same with schoolwork. I studied and I studied. I did problem after problem. I never went to so this is an example in school. You have these students who just don't bring anything to the class. They don't bring anything to the class. If I brought nothing to the class, I'd be completely useless. But they bring nothing. Maybe a pen and paper. Maybe not. Maybe. And they just listen. They listen. They don't even do the problem sets. They listen. Then they read. So they have an understanding of what's going on. I was not like that. I had no clue what was going on. I couldn't pay attention. I would be on my phone doing stocks, eating food, talking to someone, because it was so complicated, the material. I could never fully be aware of what was going on. So what I did was when the problem sets came out, I would do the whole problem set. I couldn't even do that. I would have to sometimes look at the answers and then perform it myself without looking at the answer. And then if I did the whole thing, when the test came, I would do the whole thing again and again and again. If they didn't have extra problem sets, I would do the same problem set over and over and over again, because that's all the questions they had. And then if the test comes, and it's a question that's not on the problem set, that requires some intuition, some fundamental understanding, I would be lost. I would fail the question. Because I was just performing on calculations and methods. Okay, you have a question like this is how you answer it. You have a question like that, that's how you answer it. And I ended up talking to the school dean, the program administrator. I said, you got to give us more problem sets because I'm falling behind because there's not enough questions and I don't recognize the questions on the test. Because I just went problem after problem after problem after problem after problem. Just neural networks. When I practice sports, hockey, I would go to my backyard rink in my neighborhood. I would take pucks and I would just fire them, shooting. Or I would stand in a corner during public skating hours. I would stand in the corner and just practice the techniques of stick handling and skating. Stick handling, but literally in a 2 meter square. 2 meter square. That's all I would use for hours. Just in that 2 meter square, going left, right, 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 left, right. Completely lost in a real game. But I said, if I do this enough, then one day I will be so good that I will be able to maneuver around a real game using my intuition. Did that happen too late? Possibly. But I did figure it out. But it took a long time. And for the longest time I didn't perform. And that's not the way things in the professional world are done. Because you have people getting jobs at 20 years old, graduating at 22, playing professional sports at 18, being musical artists and getting awards at 21. There was no way I could do that. Because I wasn't even participating in that. I was just focusing neural networks on the very, very core motions and functions of the task. And eventually I was able to, like in Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike, my aim is so good. I'm probably the best aimer. But I have no idea about teamwork. I have no idea about positioning. I have no idea where to throw the grenades. I have no idea about the strategies. 3 people go here, 2 people go here. This person goes first. This person goes second. That's where the enemy is hiding. The enemy has this tendency. No idea. I just know if I see a guy, I can shoot him in the video game. That's my technique. In soccer, I'm really big currently, so I'm slow. But I can pass, I can dribble, I can shoot. 10 out of 10. If that was my FIFA rating, I would have 100 in shooting, 100 in passing, 100 in dribbling. Defense, positioning, speed, stamina, all of that failing. But I can dribble because I trained, I can shoot because I trained, and I can pass because I trained. Accuracy, technique, skill with the ball. That's what I trained to do. At the end. In the beginning, as a kid, I was a defender. Very good one, very speedy. But at the end, that's what I came to do. So you would just park me up front somewhere, give me the ball in the danger zone, I get an assist, I get a goal. 2 touches. 1-2 touches. That's it. That's my whole game. No defense, no positioning, no strategy, no. You find a way to work the ball up the field, pass it into my field of range, I bring it down, I take a touch, I get a shot. I dribble past a defender, 1-2 touches, get a shot. I make space, I play a perfect pass, you get a shot. That's all I can do. But I can execute that like nobody. So I'm saying to you, if you want to go the way I did, like when I practiced soccer, all I did was juggling. Because that's the smallest amount of space that I can use, that I can build up that touch. Just how many times does the ball touch your foot? And how good can I get with the ball touching my foot so that I can connect ball to foot masterfully? How many problems can I solve? How many mathematics can I use? How many different scenarios can I experience and understand and build up my knowledge and wisdom within the subject that I'm studying? How many hands can I repeat and commit to memory in poker? How many times can I play my strategy in chess? How many books can I read on the same damn thing. 20 books on stocks, 20 books on poker, business books about the same damn things. Watching videos over the same things. Relationship advice, the exact same crap on YouTube. So my progress was like this. Always like this. I never performed where sometimes you're great, sometimes you're bad, sometimes you're this, sometimes you're this, sometimes you're this, sometimes you're this, and you're having fun. And you're learning and you're playing and you're building up a repertoire of your history of what you did and how you performed, and you did this, then you played poor, then you played bad. No, for me it was just boom, repeat, technique, 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 until eventually, now I know. I got to the point where I know I can do things. I can do business, stocks, poker, chess, video games, guitar, music, piano, science, politics, YouTube, sports. I got to a point where I can now have the talent required to compete at that high level. But through all my 20s, I couldn't. And that's not the way things are done. So I don't know what to say. I don't know whether my technique was good, because I'm really skilled now. Now I got to a point where I'm really, 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 really skilled. But the way I did it was so unconventional. Like the way I did it was the way you train kids at 6 years old. Except by the time kids reach 12 years old, you don't do that to them anymore. You put them in the field of play. You put them to the test once they reach 11, 12, 13 years old. And from that point on, it's just half practice, half game time. I continued from what you learn at 6. I started doing that at 20, 21, 25, 22, 28, 18, 23. Decades. Just that practice. So I could finally perform at 30 years old. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Sure, I have regrets because I never had careers. I never had jobs. I never had success. I never got money. I never got women. I never got sports. I never performed. Never performed. So I have regrets throughout my 20s because I missed a bunch of performing. But I was still playing. I was just practicing on my own. Just practicing on my own. The only way I know how. And learning and reading and studying and gaining inspiration and watching videos, and that's what I did. I don't know. Would it have been different if I just went along the conventional route and just had a team that I work with like-minded individuals who are doing the same things I am, the same tasks and things that we're doing, and both on the same career path and learning from each other? Would I have reached the same trajectory? I don't know. I'm just telling you honestly, that's what I did. I never had coaches. I never had like really dedicated one-on-one coaches, trainers, teams, that were building me up. I did it all on my own. With limited resources. Not a lot of money, just like everybody else. Not a lot of money. But I got to live at home and do it from home. Like I have 20 books on poker, 20 that I read, all of them, and made notes, and then I reread them. And then I also have 20 books on stocks, and I subscribe to newsletters, and I subscribe to columns and articles, and just read about it everywhere. I watch videos on everything to learn stuff. I learned how to mix music just on videos. How to create a session, record your music, and mix it all on my own. I learned that from experience and videos in 3 short years. I don't know. I mean, that's one way. But like Connor McDavid, I'm sure he doesn't do that. The best hockey player, I'm sure Sidney Crosby didn't do that. When I watch them practice, if they're doing what I'm doing, I'm sitting in a 2-meter square in the corner of the rink. They're going from end to end of the whole rink and doing laps around the whole rink. Going left, right, but skating around the whole rink, going backwards, going forwards, spinning, stopping, shooting, all in one go. That's not what I did. So, and they're the best currently. But they have a team that guides them through all that training. And my mindset when I was 20 years old was, I can make it. If I do 5,000 ball juggles with my foot touching the ball 5,000 times each day, then in 5 years, I'll be great. There's no way I can fail. There's no way I can fail. If I do 5,000 touches a day from here till 5 years in a row, I can't fail. I can't fail. If I play the same chords 10,000 times over 10 years, there's no way I can't be great. There's no way. There's no way. You're not performing. You're not in a band. You're not creating music. You're not recording music. You're not playing live. You're just in your basement practicing the chords and the scales and the technique 10,000 times for 10 years. And then there's no way you won't be skilled at guitar in 10 years' time. Masterfully skilled. That was my thinking. And slowly you do build up, but it's super slow. It goes super slow because you're not used to performing. You don't know the entire game. It goes super slow until one day you master it all. It's like this. That's my experience. Maybe I recommend you do both. I recommend you do both. If I were to do it again, I would definitely do both. Even if I'm not perfect, I would still want to be in a band. I would still want to perform live somewhere. Maybe for an audience of 50 people. Maybe for a $5 ticket entrance. Maybe at a party. A mature elderly party. and even if I'm not good, and then practice on my own the fundamental techniques. But half of my days just be in a community and around the real thing. So that way you have the best of both worlds. If I'm studying, go to a lecture, bring the textbook, open the textbook, try and read along. Take some notes. When you get home, don't just do the problem set. Read the paragraph. Do some Googling, watch some videos. Learn about the fundamental physics before you do the mathematics. Understand what they're actually saying, where it came from. Do some background reading. And then solve the problems and do your analysis. Half and half. So you know what's going on. You're in the real world. And then you have the training. Half and half. Be part of a team. Be part of the community. Be involved. Perform. Go out there. Be in the real world. And then on your own time, practice the fundamentals. Half and half. I just had this part. I was nowhere in the community. I was just all technique for a decade. But I would say to you, get some real world experience. A good chunk of real world experience. Half and half. And just keep it up. Just pretend, in 10 years, in 15 years, in 20 years, if I keep this up and keep up the drive. Yes, you can take some days, weeks, or even months off, but don't quit in the long run. You will achieve $1 trillion, whatever you want. So yeah, I would say like that. And then you probably wouldn't be angry all the time, because I'm angry all the time of me missing out on so much. Like, oh shit, why the hell did it take 30 years for me to do anything? But if you want to do something, you can do it at any age. You just have to be confident that you're not good yet. You have to be confident that it's okay if you're not the best. If you mess up, you have to be okay with screwing up a bunch of times, and still performing. That's how you would gain a lot of wisdom and experience. So that's my video on my techniques and what I recommend you to do. Just keep at it. Be multi-varied. Do a lot of things. Do a daytime job. Do a nighttime shift. Do an education program. Do a hobby. Play a sport. Do some finances. Chase money. Chase women. Spend time with your friends and family. Do your chores. Do your adulting. Live on your own. Live with parents. Whatever you do, just do a bunch of stuff, learn a lot, and so you grow, always growing. And then in 10 years from now, you'll be a master, and then you'll have your own YouTube channel. Yeah. So as always, drink your orange juice, be nice to someone, go hardcore beast mode on your training, and as always, stay classy, New York.